started out by having just some group sessions with the middle schoolers. And then they asked me to take over the middle school. Worst possible place, noisy, dusty, dirty.
Right next to the rifle range.
Just put a few high school teachers down there, and some of them were very good, got it off to a good start.
When I came in here, the middle school, there was not a division between 7th and 8th grade. It was a 2-year program that we had a plan in our setting up our classes.
And then they needed more space.
We really couldn't be on our own, and so that's where we came up with the idea of going down to the dormitories of the school.
So we decided to share the property with them, not the bedrooms, but those 4 classrooms on the lower level.
And that way we had our own little program, and we took over both levels, the lower levels of the dormitories. And it was all right having our own little more space, but if you look at those rooms down there, they were not built for classrooms.
And that's when they started planning a separate building up here, connected for middle school.
They get to see what the upper school does all the time, going up to formation and all the other special activities. But yet we got a section where we could do our own type of things. So all of a sudden we were outgrowing our area down there, and that's what caused the rebuilding of, so we added more space.
At St. Thomas Academy, there's always an urge to make things bigger and or better. That was very exciting. It reminds me a little bit of what's going on right now with the summer splash and all this excitement and chaos of the destruction and rebuilding of, the quad and the upper school of Founders Hall. There was kind of a mass benediction blessing. It was exciting. It was brand spanking new. All the teachers, had their own rooms, and it was exciting. Brand new classrooms. We added a beautiful building, new and better science labs. The art was enhanced, more meeting space, more library space, more computer lab space. During COVID, that quarter when we were home, the spring a year ago, never would have been able to do that because you wouldn't have been able to push out assignments or accept assignments. All the Zoom technology, everyone having their own computer, just would not have been possible.
It used to be just sort of casual, a meeting or whatever, but when the boys were asked to go to the high school for formation, that they knew they had to be on. When we got the Rongish Commons downstairs, that's when our formations downstairs got more formal for them in the middle school.
It was actually, like there's the Rongish Commons downstairs. There was an upper middle school commons, was a giant open space. It was never really used well. Eventually then the whole thing was turned into the STEM Center, the Innovation Lab.
Once the Innovation Center started, not only did it open us up to be able to see the experimental vehicle team working, but all of a sudden it was like this whole new world of opportunities for hands-on learning. It brought out like a whole aspect that was completely missing. And I saw the house program come on. I think what it did is bring the 7th and 8th grade at that time, and then eventually the 6th grade, it brought them in together.
Make a small medium school even more intimate and accountable. Also, so that it wasn't just the 8th graders versus the 7th graders. It was a way to mix them, and now it's to mix the 8th, 7th, and 6th graders, that they have some crossover.
There used to be such, we're in the 7th grade, we're in the 8th grade, we're at the top of the school, you guys are the bottom of the school, that you just don't have that feeling anymore. It's like, we're the middle school. We're all in this together. I loved it in the 6th graders. They're young.
It's not, a linear change. It's, it scopes up pretty fast in terms of the maturity. So
I think that was such a good thing for the 8th graders to see, to kind of see it's okay to be silly at times. And I think it was a great transition for the 6th graders that to move into 7th and move into 8th. I think it really completes the middle school. One of the things I think the middle school has always had and held tight to and will continue in the future is the middle school will always hold on to the personal amount of education that is given, the personal amount of attention that each teacher can give the students. That is super important, and that will never be lost in the middle school because that's really part of what makes us unique here.